What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. First and foremost, I hope you guys had a great weekend, but it's time to lock in. The NBA draft starts on Wednesday this week. It is a two-day event this time around, as we all know. Not sure I totally agree with that, but whatever. Maybe it'll work out. We'll see. But first round on Wednesday, and over the weekend, Eric and I, of course, as always, had our podcast, and he brought up a very interesting scenario for the Washington Wizards. Now, there is a good chance it is spoiled in the thumbnail, but let's just go ahead and jump in and do this Washington Wizards rebuild and talk about how they could have the perfect draft. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated, especially subscribe if you're excited about draft night and free agency, because you guys already know I will have you guys covered with all types of rebuilds depending on what roster moves happen this off season, and we're also on the road to 50k subs, so that helps out too. But basically, as we all know, a lot of reporting has happened. The last time we did the draft lottery rebuilds, we went Alex Star, Atlanta Hawks, #1 overall, because that's, when draft lottery first happened, it felt like Alex Star, the Hawks, was probably a lock. Everything else was kind of random. But a lot of reports have suggested Alex Star doesn't even want to go to Atlanta. He doesn't want to play center. He wants to play power forward. He wants to go to the Wizards. He has refused to work out for Atlanta. So there's a lot of interesting things there. So Alex Star to the Wizards seems like it may actually happen. Now, that's a great start because a lot of people consider him as the best player in this draft. But what if the reports also of Rob Dillingham falling out of the lottery were true, and the Wizards could find a way to trade with the Sacramento Kings, which Eric brought up on our podcast, and also find a way to get Rob Dillingham? So that is what we've done. So for this Wizards draft, and I guess I forgot about Tristan. I forgot we had a later pick. So if Tristan DeSilva fell to 26, which I'm not sure he would, but I'll take that as well. But basically, the two we're focused on most is what if the Wizards could get Rob Dillingham and Alex Sar in the draft? That'd be pretty crazy, and that'd be a great start to the rebuild. I don't think this is going to happen in real life, though, which is why I'm more than comfortable with doing this video as a fun little scenario. So that's what we're doing today. Alex Sar, Rob Dillingham, and I'll show you how it happens. So I did a little bit of a hypothetical mock draft, really unofficial, but there's a lot of reports suggesting Atlanta is interested in Kling and whether they just take him at 1 or trade down or whatever. But it sounds like these three will be going in the top 3. Just depends on the order. And then I do believe that the Spurs are going to take Stephon Castle. And I think the two shooters go to Pistons or Hornets. You could switch those around if you wanted to. I think the Blazers take whatever forward between Salon, Buzelis, and Ron Holland. I think they might go Salon. And then after that, it was kind of random. I wasn't really sure who to take. But with Rob Dillingham on the clock, the Wizards call up the Kings phone and they send over the 13th pick, Harrison Barnes, Sasha Vencikov, who actually requested a trade anyway, for Kyle Kuzma. So Kyle Kuzma is now a Sacramento Kings. So the Kings get their forward, the Wizards get the young point guard. It's a win-win scenario for both sides, which is why it sounds so perfect to me. I don't know if it's going to happen, but sounds great, especially for the Wizards going forward. So I'm excited about this one. We have our point guard and our power forward of the future. So what is there not to be excited about? So we do have a free agent in Tyus Jones. I do believe he's going somewhere else, though, so I'm not going to re-sign him. So Jordan Poole is still here, of course. Rob Dillingham, Blue also. So they have like the 3-and-D wings with Blue and then Danny Avdia, Corey Kispert. So I think getting your power forward and your point guard would be huge in this draft. So as far as who's going to start at center for us, though, I guess it'll have to be Marvin Bagley for now. But Alex Sar has said he wants to play power forward, so we're going to move him there. And I'll show you if there's any other moves we made this offseason, but I don't think we'll be doing too much else, to be honest with you. Today's video is brought to you by DGF's Optimizer. If you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any other DSF app, having a tool like this is so clutch at finding good plays right in front of you without having to do any research whatsoever. So I'm recording this pretty late at night, so the value is very, very dry, but I guess we have like one example, a couple good examples. So these are like some esports plays. You also have a baseball fantasy score, but other than that, nothing too crazy on the board. But basically what this tool does, it compares discrepancies across sports books, so you know you're getting the best value on the certain app you're looking at. So right now we're looking at PrizePicks at the very moment. Basically, it's like car shopping. If you're going to go buy a car and there's 4 dealerships that have the car, where are you going to go buy it at? The cheapest place possible. And in this case, Marcella Ozuna over 7.5 fantasy score. 2 other books listing at 8.5. And of course, I use it on apps such as PrizePicks. PrizePicks is running a weird promo tomorrow. This is a free entry where basically you are going over under on how many glizzies are gobbled. So yeah, it's completely free if you want to go in and take advantage of that and have some fun with that. I'm not really sure what it's all about, but yeah, the way PrizePicks works usually, and they also have a free square on Patrick Mahomes' season yard square at the moment. But the way PrizePicks works is choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players mean 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players mean 25 times your entry. Make sure to check out Prize Picks. Link is down in the description below. Just gives you an extra sweat while you watch whatever sport you like to watch. All kinds of options to choose from. Maybe you're into, sweating some glizzy bets if you really wanted to. But if you use code Crushables on Prize Picks, they match first positive dollar for dollar up to $100. And if you use code Crushables on the optimizer, they give you 25% off your first month. Other than that, let's get back to the video. So I thought there was a chance I'd do something else in free agency, but I'm not going to. I'm actually just going to go ahead and run with this rotation as it is at the moment. So Jordan Poole develops to 1 overall. Belil is up, which is great. Tristan Vukovic is also up to a 76. That's pretty exciting to see. 21 years old. I've never seen him develop that much. So maybe he could be something for us in the future. Harrison Barnes regressed, and then which is to be expected, of course. And then Patrick Baldwin is up 74 overall. So I guess we have a couple hidden gems in this rotation potentially going forward. Never thought I would have Tristan Vukovic maybe a big part of this rotation, but maybe he could be our backup center going forward, depending if he keeps it, developing, which is awesome. So now we can go ahead and get into this next season and take a look at the rotation and see what this is about to look like with Alex Sarr and Rob Dillingham running things. So we do have to cut a few guys off the roster. So we're going to cut, obviously, these last 3. So Eugene will probably have to go, and then it'll have to be, De Silva's a first-round pick. Rashawn Holmes. Obviously, I would love to trade Barnes out of here, but that's not the easiest thing to do. So it might have to be Justin Champagny, unfortunately. So it'll be you, and then that will be what we do. So Patrick Baldwin's 30th overall. Proficiency is 3-star balance under Brian Keefe. So here's your starting 5. So they do want to start Jordan Poole. I completely disagree with. I understand it at maybe first, but to me, I just want to go ahead and develop. Just get Rob Dillingham in the fire right away. So I'm just going to throw him in the starting 5 right away. Don't really care about developing Jordan Poole, honestly. I think that ship has sailed. I don't know if it's sailed, but necessarily, but not really focused on it. So I'm going to run a 10-man rotation, and I'll fix that again. So I think other than that, the rotation looks good to me. I would prefer to eventually maybe move Sarr to center, because that way we could play Belil at the 3, maybe Denny at the 4, and then figure out a 2 guard. But I guess we'll figure it out as we go along. So is there anybody that wants in the G League? I guess we can do that with Tristan De Silva, and then maybe also Patrick Baldwin. So we'll do these 2 in the G League. I'll see you guys at the end of year 1 with this rotation. We're going to see how things go. Dillingham, Belil, Denny Avdia, Alex Sarr. These are the 4 guys 100% we are keeping going forward. I really like Belil and Denny Avdia as our forwards for the future. Or we'll figure out where we play them all the time. But yeah, I really like building around these 4 for the rest of the video. Let's see how the first season goes with these guys all together. The team right now is not very good, but we are stopped at the trade deadline because we are going to trade away Jordan Poole. So it looks like we're going to be getting John Collins back in return for Jordan Poole services. So we are trading a 2nd-round pick attached with Jordan Poole to get off his salary. He's also having a pretty solid season, but I just don't see him as a long-term, in the long-term plans. 19 points per game. Maybe the Jazz think they could do something with them with Lauri Markkanen. So we're going to go ahead and send him over there. We get you our John Collins potentially expiring contract. If he accepts it, that gives us a starting center. So you know what? Either way, I'm fine with that. I think Collins is not a bad piece to bring in at all. He's also shooting 40% from 3, which is nice. So we'll see if he decides to stay or not. But I'm happy to getting rid of Jordan Poole at the deadline nonetheless. So we are 7-43 on the season. So yeah, we are terrible. But that's okay. It's to be expected. We're a young team. And if anything, maybe we get lucky and get the *1 overall pick this offseason and add Cooper Flagg to this equation. Then we could really be cooking. But we'll go ahead and see how the rest of the season goes now that we've swapped swap Jordan Poole for John Collins. So despite the bad season, Alex Sarr still wins Rookie of the Year, averaging 18-8, which is great to see. But we can go ahead and see who goes on to win the championship fairly quickly, as you have the Dallas Mavericks beating the Blazers in 4. And you got OKC Dallas. So Dallas versus Atlanta after they just drafted Donovan Clingan. So maybe they're on to something. And they win the championship. So I guess maybe they know something we don't. According to 2K. Player retirements, LeBron James retires. And now we go straight to the draft lottery. So lottery time. Obviously, big step for our franchise. If we could find a way to stay at 1, then I would be happy. But usually how this goes, when you have the #1 best odds, you fall to 5 pretty much every time. So kind of expecting that to happen, and we do fall to 5 as expected. So kind of figured that was going to be the case. Grizzlies get 1, so they get to add Cooper Flagg or Harper. So we'll get to add whoever falls to us. More than likely, we're getting a 2 guard or a forward here. So I do want to keep Brian Keefe as the head coach. I think the Wizards players seem to like him a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and keep him. So Brian Keefe is going to stay our head coach despite us being extremely bad. But I didn't really have the expectations of being good anyway. I thought I was going to get Will Hardy as the assistant, which is kind of crazy, but I'm going to go get Watson, I guess, and boom. All right, so coach staff filled out. Draft night now. You know, I would try to trade up, but I don't really think we have any. But I mean, we have some guys we can send away, but I'm not going to send anybody too crazy away right now. I mean, like John Collins, I could send Danny Avdia, but like I said, I want to keep him long term. And then Barnes isn't a good value or isn't an asset. So we probably have to park at 1 or 5. So Cooper Flagg goes to Memphis. Would have been great to get him. Ace Bailey to the Knicks. You got VJ to the Raptors. I'll just say right now, if Harper goes to me, if he falls to me at 5, I'm taking him. I don't care. So, okay, he goes to the Rockets. I'm about to say, I mean, he would be the best player available by far. And, you know, I think I've gotten Hugo a lot, but he just makes so much sense here. I mean, we get Hugo Gonzalez at our 2 guards. So we got a permanent starting 5. Sorry, you're going to have to play center next year. I'm sorry. So we are going to go ahead and take Hugo. No hesitation there. So Hugo, welcome to the Washington Wizards. So I need to take note on some other guys in this draft class. So Sar would have been fine. I thought about Trey Johnson. So he would have been nice as well, but I know how good Hugo can be. So welcome to the Wizards. So Hugo, we got a couple of guys in the second round. Can I 2-way them? No, it's not letting me. Whatever. So we don't get them. Player options, John Collins declines, which I'm fine with. We can get off Landry Shamus money, Sasha's money. Baldwin. Do we want Patrick Baldwin back, or do we have a good rapport at the power forward spot? So we are going to be moving Sar to the center. And Collins and Bagley are both free agents. Vucevic will probably keep around. Rashawn Holmes is gone. So we have our center rotation. We don't really have, well, we're going to be moving one of these guys. De Silva might develop. We'll keep him. We'll keep him just in case. So we'll go ahead and accept his. Johnny Davis, I don't think has really worked out for this team, so I'm just going to decline him at this point. Qualifying offers, Vucevic and Kispert are both free agents. Forgot about Kispert as well. So now I can go to free agency. So free agency, I think I'm going to go ahead and keep Corey Kispert. 100%. Really nice shooter for this team. So I'm going to give him a 4-year deal. So we'll keep him around. And then there was one, I thought there was one other free agent I needed to worry about, right? Oh, Vucevic. That's right. So, all right, let's move things around here. So we are going to move Alex Sar to the 5. I'm sorry, but we got to play there with how this lineup's about to be. So Sar's going to play some 5. Do we want to move? So we're going to move Danny to the 4. He is going to go down to 2 overall, but I think that's worth it the long run, and Below goes down. So something along the lines of that is what we're going to run. So it'll be Dillingham at the point guard, Hugo at the 2, Below, Barnes for now. Of course, not really going to be. We can move Baldwin and De Silva around, or we're getting Kispert back too. So we'll figure it out. But feeling good about that. And once we get Vucevic back, we should be cooking even more. So what did Bagley do for us last year? So he averaged 12 and 6. We could resign John Collins as well. How much is he asking for? Where is John Collins? There he is. 22 million. I just don't want to give him 22 million. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'd rather just resign Vucevic and call it a day, because John Collins is going to come off our bench at the end of the day. So there's really no point of giving him a long-term salary. Okay. Bagley, I don't think I'm bringing back either at this point. So it's just a matter of getting Vucevic back. So we're going to go ahead and give him a nice little backup center option our contract. And boom, we'll renounce these guys and we are good. So, all right. So we have a full rotation. We do have some money to spend left if we want to. So do we want to spend it on? Do we want to spend it is the question. So Gisbert's our 3. De Silva and Baldwin fight over the backup 4. Then Vucevic is our backup 5. So I'm feeling good about all that. So I guess we need a backup guard. So who do we want? So we're obviously not going to spend a lot of money here on a backup guard. We can get like David Mitchell or Alvarado. A Bruce Brown is like maybe a little bit of a veteran presence. Isaiah Joe, who I love getting. Quentin Grimes. Trey Mann. Gary Trent. A lot of good options here, but give me... I kind of like the idea of Bruce Brown potentially off the bench here. So I'm going to go Bruce Brown for this team. So we'll get him on a nice little deal as a veteran presence. And then a point guard, I'm going to grab Alvarado for cheap. So we'll grab Alvarado. So we'll grab Alvarado. And all right, so I'm feeling good about that. So now it's all about the development of our young guys, which I think we'll see a good stride here, hopefully. So yeah, Sar's up to an 83. Avdia's up to an 82 despite moving to power forward. Below's up, which is nice. Dillingham is up. Corey Kispert, Baldwin's up. So all of that is looking fantastic. And De Silva's up to a 76. Love to see all of that. So I don't know if we'll be a play-in team next year, which, by the way, did I even look at the player stats, bro? I'm so dumb if I didn't. I apologize if I didn't. 19 point. Oh, that's Summer League stats. My bad, bro. I sold the bag. I forgot to look at stats. Not that it was like, here, let's look at the stats for our 4 guys at the very least. That's my fault. I forgot to show that. That's important. So my fault. So let's go to a 2026 draft class, and then we are about to be cooking this next season. I feel like we might not be good, but I really like where this team is at already. So Alex R, we kind of saw 18 and 8. Denny averaged 11 and 6. Okay. Belil averaged 7. Rob Dillingham with 20. Nice. Corey Kispert 8 and Baldwin. So yeah, not too bad. Now, let's get next season. Power Rankings going as 29th overall. We are up to a 3.5 balance. They do want to start Bruce Brown, which I totally disagree with. But if they think that's what's best, then maybe I can get behind it. I don't know. I kind of just want to throw Hugo in there right away. I think he'd eventually get the starting spot anyway, so maybe I'll just let him naturally grab it. Other than that, De Silva's out of the rotation at the moment. Maybe I just send him to the G League again since he's not going to be playing. Why not? So we'll do that. I don't know if we'll make the playoffs this year, but I hope we're at least better than last year, which I think there's a very, very good chance that is the case. So at the end of this season, Shea wins MVP, Flag Rookie of the Year. Giddy is your 6th man on the Philadelphia 76ers. Klingon is your most improved, and then Tatum is your clutch player in the Warriors. Very interesting. So he won a championship and dipped to the Warriors. Okay, so we did make progress this season. We didn't make the play-in, unfortunately. I would have loved to have seen that, but we were scrapping, but 33 and 49 isn't too bad. But yeah, 21 from Rob Dillingham. You had 21 from Alex R and 13 from Hugo. 12 from Vucevic, and then 11 from Abdia, 10.5, 8, and 8. But I think it's only a matter of time before this team is ready to get into that playoff dance. So the question is, this offseason, do we strike for a veteran, or do we just continue with this young core is the question. So Orlando goes on to win it all. You got a bunch of retirements here. But let's go to the lottery. So this year, our pick is top 8 protected. I know it's going to say it's going to the Knicks. So if it stays in the top 8, we actually get to keep it, which is nice. It is projected to be 7, so we'll see how that goes. So it is going to stay at 7, so we do get our pick back, which is great. I think it's only top 5 protected next year. So staff signing, Brian Keefe, and then we get to just fill out the rest of this, which we will do. So I'm going to fill the rest of this out, and we need to figure out, do we want to make a trade, or do we want to go ahead and just draft somebody and keep rolling with the core we got? So the only position I would have wanted to upgrade was a 2-guard spot, and every player I wanted to go for wasn't under contract anymore. So we're just going to draft whoever falls to us at 7. So really, like I said, the shooting guard spot is kind of where I would like to replace things. I'm going to go Koa here out of Michigan with this pick, but I feel all right about that. So Koa P, welcome. He is a 78 overall out of the draft. That's awesome. So Sar below, Rob Dillingham, De Silva, accepting all of those. Patrick Baldwin, also free agent. Probably have interest in bringing him back, although we just added another forward to our room. But I'm going to go ahead and give him a deal anyway. So keep Baldwin. And again, we're just kind of in that funk where we're just going to let the team naturally develop. And I love that. So we are going to just continue to roll with that. I'm not really sure I'm going to play everybody. But maybe at the deadline, we consider stopping. Because we do have all the money, you know, to make a big move right now. But I just kind of like where we're at as a roster. I honestly think this next season we might just be a straight up playoff team, depending on this progression looks, which I'm assuming is going to continue to go well. So yeah, Below's up to an 85 W, Dillingham is up, Sar is up, Hugo is up. So everyone is still developing, which is nice. Diddy did not move, unfortunately. That kind of sucks a little bit. But yeah, I feel pretty solid about that. So if I do stop at the deadline to try to make a move, I will show you guys. Maybe we look into it because, you know, we might be able to do something just because simply this team's in a great spot. We might as well consider all options. So proficiency, 3.5 balance, and then we are, so we're going to run 3.5 balance. So Hugo's going to start right away this year. No questions asked. We're going to go to an amateur rotation for the regular season. I want to see this team in the playoffs. So does that kick Koa Pete out of the rotation? It does not. It leaves Bruce Brown and De Silva out of it. So, and Alvarado's out of it. So as you can see, we have depth. So is there a trade to be made? You know, I would be fine with moving Hugo just because I've, you know, got him in a couple of videos. If we can upgrade, I will show you guys. But let's just see how the team does. I'm hoping this year, though, we are a playoff team because honestly, I definitely think that is potentially on the table just based off how good this team is developing. So I am at the trade deadline. We were 24 and 26 on the season, and I have a little bit of an idea that would move Alex R back to the spot he wants to because Hugo is honestly developing into the guy we want him to be. So we're not going to bring in another scorer because that doesn't make any sense to do. So what we're going to look into instead, this is the only guy I'll potentially look at here. Since Denny may not develop anymore, we're going to go over to the Brooklyn Nets and see what they'd want for Claxton. He's 27. He's locked up, but he'd give us a defensive presence next to Alex Sar that allows Sar to play power forward like he wants. So that's who we're going to go for. Of course, the Nets rebuilding, so we are going to try to see if we can make something happen here. So I wouldn't want to trade Denny FD if I don't have to. So let me see if I can do this without him. So let's say we do Corey Kispert as part of the trade. And then Tristan De Silva may never get a crack in the rotation here, unfortunately. So let's just throw him in. And then those are all two-way. So we'll throw Jalen Wilson. And then we don't have access to our first. So let's say we do the swap. So Corey Kispert, De Silva for Claxton. They agree. So just like that, that was easier than I thought. So we are going to get Claxton on the team. So that's going to move Alex Sarr to power forward like he wants to play. So he'll play power forward. And then that'll be something we do like this. Let's see how that looks. So Dillingham, Hugo, Below, Alex Sarr, Claxton, Dini Avdia, Patrick Baldwin, Vucevic, and then Koa Pete. So one thing we can also do is move Dini Avdia back to small forward. He's up to an 85. So, yeah, he can come off the bench for now. So we'll do something like that. So now that leaves Below. So, yeah. You know, I would love to start Below or Denny. It doesn't matter. As long as both of them are playing plenty of minutes, I think that's all that truly matters. But I think with that move, bringing in Claxton, playing Sarr at the 4 now, these three guys have obviously become our scorers. So hopefully those guys come out here, continue to carry us as we are a playing team right now. As I mentioned, I'm hoping to just be a straight up playoff team. We get 2 wins right off the bat at the deadline, and now we're at 500 after the deadline. So hopefully we can make a push and be a straight up playoff team. If we do make the play-in, that's still progress, but I would love to avoid the play-in altogether and just be a playoff team after that move we just made for Claxton. So very interestingly enough, Nikola Topic is your MVP on the Utah Jazz. Boozer wins Rookie of the Year. So yeah, very nice to see for Nikola as he gets most improved as well. So going from wherever he was doing last year, yeah, so he went up from 9 points per game and wins MVP. Shout out to him, man. What a season on his part. But so we did end up being a play-in team. As I told you guys, I would have loved to just straight up made it, but unfortunately not going to be the case. Still love where my team is at. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Toronto Raptors here. We still have Scotty Barnes, I assume. I should probably look at the rotation, but I forgot to. So we'll do that in just a second. So, and then we'll look at the end of the season stats because I think I forgot to do that as well. So here we go. Potentially going to win the first leg of the play-in, which we do. So we blow them out. You go with 27. So here are your player stats. So yeah, 23 from Dillingham, 21. 20.5, 12, and then 11 and 9. So all that's looking fantastic. And now we get the Hawks, who won a championship in the very first season. So we definitely have our work cut out for us here, who have Donovan Clingan. So Sarr versus Clingan. So can we beat them here? And it looks like we're going to go home. So really disappointing. Dillingham with 40, but inevitably that ends us, you know, not making the playoffs. So I guess we got to go from being a, you know, not even playoff team to contending next year, because that's kind of the window. Even though we really haven't proved anything yet, I think this team could contend next year just based on, you know, 2K being 2K. I think we could do it. So our pick is going to the Knicks this time around. No protecting that one. So staff signing, I think we move on from Brian Keefe. Not that I'm blaming him for anything he did wrong, but I'm firing him anyway. So Nick Nurse, he's not going to sign. Damn, I was just so confident he was going to sign that. I didn't even worry about signing anybody else. Mike Brown wouldn't be too bad. Ime Udoka? Yo, Ime? No, he rejects too. Damn, okay. I need to start offering more guys because wow, I just sold bad. All right, so I guess we can get Darko, who is the Raptors head coach. Pretty sure he'll accept that. But let me double check and try to get somebody else just to be on the safe side. So let's see. We got Underwood, Stauffer, Trent Peterson, Conley, where I mean Frank Vogel in Cleveland. I guess we're not going to hire Brian Keefe back. I guess hopefully get Darko, which we do. So we get Darko to be the new head coach. We'll see how that goes. Give us a different look. And then we'll grab a big man coach. And then we should be solid. So, all right. So let's go to player options. We don't have a draft pick. And I'm not going to do too much this offseason. We brought out our big addition in Claxton at the deadline. We know. So below is a free agent. Very important free agency there. Hopefully he's not asked for too much. 34 million. Pretty steep for someone who doesn't score a lot, to be honest with you. I'm going to go to day 12 on that deal because that is a lot of money to give someone, like I said, that doesn't even... And no, I know how important of a player he is, but 34 is kind of crazy. But I guess as you keep going, maybe that's going to be the market for these type of guys in the future. You know, Jaden McDaniels is kind of the comparison I would have with below right now, and Jaden McDaniels got a pretty big contract. So let's see what it's going to be on the last day of free agency. So that's going to come down a little bit. So yeah, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable, you know, about giving him something like this. So hopefully he accepts that on the last day, and he does. So below, welcome back. All right, so we got him back. And then everyone is 86, 86, 85, 85, and 84. So all that is looking good. Cool. Pete's even up. So We're going to run it again here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go see if this time around we can go be a straight up playoff team. I still believe we could be sneaky contenders here. I don't know why. I just have that weird feeling we could be. So Pirates going to land us 20th overall. 4-star balance this year, which is nice. And now we go to not an 11-man rotation because we don't need to do all that. So we're going to go to a 40 bench utilization, 9-man rotation for the regular season, which leaves Jalen Wilson out, which I'm totally fine with. So we're going to run this. The team's looking good. Damn good, if you ask me. So hopefully this season ends up being the way exactly we think it's going to happen, and we're a playoff team. Preferably a top 5 seed in the East. So Luka's the Detroit Piston and wins MVP for them. Love to see that. And here is your coach and executive of the year. Surprise, surprise, it's the Thunder. So you got the Luka Doncic Pistons representing. And then do we have any representatives here? No. Unfortunately not. Here's an offensive team, all rookie first team and all rookie second team. So we ended up as the first team in the East. We actually stole the first seed on like one of the last days of the season, which was felt pretty good to see. So 23 from Hugo, who's up to an 87, 22 from Rob Dillingham, 19 from Sar, 13.5 from Koa P, 12 and 11. So here goes nothing. First seed in the East. Obviously, getting the first seed means a lot. We would love not to just blow this and get eliminated in round 1 by the Miami Heat, who do have Isaiah Collier with Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Hero, Jaime Jaquez. It's a very good Miami team, so I would not be surprised if they gave us some problems, but we just swept them, so I guess they were not about it. So now we get the Magic, who are good as well. I think they won a championship in this video, if I'm not mistaken. I could be bugging, or at least got very far. So they have a really good rotation as well. They got Sohan, Duran, Black, Carter. A very, very good team. So we got our work cut out for us here. So my current round, down 2-1. So we got to win a game 4, a very pivotal game 4. So we go down 3-1 to Orlando. I don't think we're coming back from this. So we have the lead right now, and it looks like we're starting to run away with this one, and we are going to make it a 2-2 series. Now we got a huge game 5 back to DC. So let's see if we can take advantage of being at home for this pivotal game 5 to take an advantage in this series. And they start off firing in the first quarter, and I don't think they're going to look back. So they are going to beat us here, drop us here at home, and now I got to go win one on the road. So let's fix the rotation. Game 6 to go visit them back home in DC. So this is a very close one relatively at the moment. They've had the lead the whole time. We've taken it. At the end, we keep it, and we are going to force a game 7 back to DC. All right, so game 7. Lock in, ladies and gentlemen, in DC. Don't want to blow us out like they did last game, and it's looking okay. It's a close game right now, so that's all you can really ask for. And it looks like we're starting to run away with it, and we are going to the conference final. So we were down 3-2, backs against the wall, and we get 2 straight to go to the conference finals, I should say. And now we get the Knicks. So I have Brunson, DiVincenzo. They've drafted Ace Bailey. So a very good team in the Knicks with Brunson still leading the charge. So somebody come around against them. We're up 2-1, 3-1. And are they going to be a match for us? And no, we beat them in 5. So the Magic give us the most problems. So Shea versus Dillingham. What could possibly go wrong? As you can see, Dillingham in his photo looks like a child compared to Shea for some reason. But so we'll see how this goes. They still have Josh. Wait, did Josh Giddey go back there? What on earth am I seeing? Josh Giddey went back to OKC after being traded. That is so bizarre. All right. Well, Ron Holland is there. John Collins is there as well. Trey Johnson. I'll have to take a mental note that he developed to an 83 overall for the Thunder, and he's barely played. So, yeah. So maybe I need to draft him more going forward. But here goes nothing. In the NBA Finals, game 1, 1-0 goes to them. Game 2, 2-0. And that's wait a minute. We might be able to even this one up. We may not be just done yet. We got to win game 4 to even the series. We're back home for this one. So we got a pivotal one here. Can we win it is the question. So it's a close one relatively. As long as we don't blow it, I think we got it. And we are going to even it up. So we're not done yet. Hugo with 39. Very big win there. And now if we get this one, we could be cooking. So we start off very hot in the first quarter. Does not mean much right now. But I think we're going to blow them out on their home floor, which means we take them back to DC with a huge advantage to win a championship. When I thought we would just be like sneaking contenders, I don't know if we'd win it right away. And it's looking good. This is what you get for signing Josh Giddey. We're blowing them out in game 6. And I think that will be all she wrote. Just like that, we are going to bring home a championship in like the 4th or 5th season. Hugo is your finals MVP. What a draft pick that was for us, man. 87 overall at the end of this. But what a perfect draft this could be for the Washington Wizards. Imagine Dillingham, Sar, Avdia, and Blow as your core going forward. That sounds kind of nice in DC. If I'm a Wizards fan, I'm not even like I said, I'm not a Wizards fan. That gets me excited. So we'll see though. That could be really fun for them. We'll see if that ends up happening. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.